Hello everyone. Back again with film recaps. In this video, I'm going to recap one of the horror animation films from 2023, titled Stop Motion. Before we get to the storyline, I'd like to wish everyone a happy and great day. Without further ado, let's get straight to the storyline. The movie opens with a young woman named Ella, who's a stop-motion animator. She is seen working on a project while her mother, Suzanne, gives her instructions. It is revealed that Suzanne is respected as a legend in this work, and she hopes her daughter will follow in her footsteps. After they're done, Suzanne checks the work, but claims it's not good enough, which upsets Ella a bit.
I need to do it again.
It turns out that her mother is suffering from arthritis, which affects her ability to move her hands properly. Because of this, Ella is responsible for caring for her in every aspect, including their filmmaking projects. During dinner, she mentions to Suzanne that she has an idea for a movie, but the latter doesn't seem interested. The next morning, when Ella wakes up, she finds her mother waiting for her. She asks her about the idea she mentioned the previous night. Ella is thrilled and tries to say something, but she becomes too nervous to utter even a single word. After a long day of work, Ella heads to a pub to meet her boyfriend, Tom, and his sister, Polly. Tom is a struggling musician trying to make it big, while Polly works as a stop-motion artist in a filmmaking studio. As they chat, Polly shares a video of her recent animation project with the group. Despite feeling a bit jealous, Ella compliments Polly on her work. Afterward, Ella spends time at Tom's place, and as morning approaches, she asks Tom to take her home before her mother wakes up. During the drive home, Ella confides in him about her mother's declining health, and how she's helping her make her final film. Tom asks if she wants to pursue her own filmmaking goals and discover her own voice, but an upset Ella claims that she doesn't have her own voice. After returning home, she collapses onto her bed. But her moment of rest is interrupted when Suzanne arrives and tells her it's time to work. Later, when they eat together, she deliberately neglects to cut her mother's steak. This makes it difficult for Suzanne to cut and eat her food with her weak hands. Afterward, the two sit down to work, and Suzanne claims that she just wants to finish the movie before she dies, and asks if it's such a burden. Suzanne begins to give the work instructions, but she gradually becomes more aggressive. Suddenly, the lights start flickering, before a short circuit blows out the lights, leaving the room completely dark. Ella turns on a torch, and notices her mother on the floor, who collapses soon after. In the next scene, we see Suzanne admitted to the hospital, where she falls into a coma. The doctor asks if she had a stroke before, and Ella mentions her arthritis, and that the mother doesn't even look real. Later, she goes to stay with Tom, who assures her that she can stay with him for as long as she needs. After taking a bath, Ella sees a vision of her mother lying on the ground, who suddenly transforms into a strange meat puppet. She snaps back to reality, and informs Tom that she must complete her mother's final project. The following day, Tom takes Ella to a rundown building where she can stay temporarily. He explains that very few people live here, ensuring she can work peacefully. Among the numerous empty units, Ella is drawn to one particular flat, and expresses her desire to stay there. After Tom leaves, she begins settling in, and carries her luggage upstairs. Ella meets a little girl on the stairs who tries to talk to her, but she ignores her. In the evening, she completes her workspace setup and resumes work on her mother's project. While trying to focus, Ella hears the little girl singing and gets annoyed. She walks outside to confront her, and meets her in the hallway. The girl peeps inside Ella's flat, and inquires about her setup. Despite her initial annoyance, Ella lets her in. Ella eagerly demonstrates how she makes a film by moving the model again and again, and clicking the picture. The girl asks Ella why she does it, to which Ella replies because she likes it, and it feels like she's bringing something to life. She also shares with her the storyline she's currently working on, which is her mother's final movie. However, the girl isn't impressed by this narrative, and claims it's a bit boring. She insists she has a better story, and then shares a story about a scared girl, who gets lost in the forest, while being pursued by a mysterious entity. Suddenly, the girl asks Ella about what she's holding. Ella explains that it is mortician's wax, which is used to cover up dead people's injuries when their families want to see them. The girl says she should definitely make a character out of it, and she asks the girl to leave. In the next scene, Ella sees a vision in which she finds herself in a forest. She soon becomes unconscious, and is awakened by Tom in the morning. To her surprise, Ella discovers that her mother's creation has been destroyed, and replaced by the little girl's story from the night before. The setting has transformed into a forest, and the main character is crafted from a mortician's wax. She watches the video on her laptop, which she doesn't recall filming at all. Ella assumes that she did it before falling asleep and simply forgot about it. She is actually impressed by the new story, so she decides to abandon her mother's project, and work on this one instead. In the afternoon, Polly arrives to meet Ella, and extends a job offer to work at her company. Ella doesn't accept her offer, but shows her the new project she's working on, and Polly appears to be very impressed. After Polly departs, the little girl returns to the studio once again. Ella excitedly presents her the new project based on the story the girl shared earlier. However, the girl isn't impressed, and comments that the doll representing the girl in the woods doesn't look real enough. She goes into the kitchen, brings a steak, and asks Ella to make the girl out of it. Ella agrees to give it a try, and is surprised to find that the doll now appears more lifelike than before. She narrates more of the story, explaining how the scared girl finds a cabin in the forest, and hides there. She adds that the scary man comes 3 nights, and then knocks on the door. They create the antagonist of the story using raw meat as well, and the girl suggests the scary man be called the Ash Man. Around midnight, Ella senses someone knocking at her apartment door. To her surprise, it's the little girl who has arrived with another suggestion. She takes Ella outside into the woods, and shows her a fox carcass. She suggests they should use the fox flesh to give the Ash Man a more realistic appearance. Hearing this, Ella is horrified and refuses to incorporate such a hideous idea. However, the girl insists that unless Ella complies, she won't reveal the rest of the story. Ella isn't bothered, it's her movie, and she will create her own story. Following this, Ella tries to think of the next plot line, but she struggles to come up with what happens next. Frustrated, she visits and tells a comatose Suzanne that she has started a new project, but in reality, it's not even hers, it belongs to someone else again. Afterward, she goes to meet Polly at the club, and asks her for some drugs, hoping it might help her get creative. After taking them, Ella begins to experience a trippy, psychedelic episode. She's making love with Tom, while rubbing and feeling his skin, as if she would do something with it. Ella then wanders outside in a dazed state, and feels the blood of a man involved in a bar fight. Just then, the little girl shows up at the bar, and Ella begins to follow her in a confused state. The two arrive in the woods again, and this time, she takes the girl's suggestion to bring the fox carcass back home. Using the flesh of the dead animal, she crafts a new Ash Man, and replaces the old one. The little girl then continues the story, explaining that on the first night, the lead girl is in the house, and the Ash Man is coming. She tries to hide, but he eventually sees her. As Ella is trying to film the animation, she hears the buzzer in her house goes off. Ella steps outside to investigate, only to notice the life-sized version of the Ash Man heading upstairs. Horrified, she rushes back to her apartment, and locks herself inside. But then, the following morning, she is awakened by Tom. He asks if she took